Dear students, let's start our class. Today we are going to discuss from the remaining part of socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. But before we going to discuss, we have to remember some of the important points of the previous discussions. The age of social sense. After the revolution, individual rights and social power began to be discussed in many parts of the world, including Europe and Asia. Colonial development reshaped ideas of societal sense, but everyone was not in favor of the complete transformation of society. Through the revolution in Russia, socialism became one of the most significant and powerful ideas to shape society in the 20th century. Then we have also discussed about liberal, radical and conservatives. Then we have discussed about industrial society and social sense. And last we have discussed industrial revolution led to changes in social and economic life. New cities came up and new industrialized regions developed. Dear students, now we are going to discuss about coming of socialism to Europe. Socialism was a well-known body of ideas by the mid-19th centuries in Europe that attract widespread attention. But socialists were against private property. Now question arises, why did they against private property? Individuals owned the property that gave employment, but the property were concerned only with the personal gain and not with the welfare of those who made the property productive. Socialists also believed that it as the root of all social ills of the time, so they wanted to change it and campaigned for it. Now another question arises, how could a society without property operate? Then what would be the basis of socialist society? Socialists had different visions of the future. Some believed in the ideas of cooperative. Robert Owen, a leading English manufacturer, sought to build a cooperative community called New Harmony in Indiana. Other socialists felt that cooperatives could not build on a wide scale only through individual initiative. They demanded that government encourage cooperative. In France, Louis Blanc wanted the government to encourage cooperatives and replace capitalist enterprises. These cooperatives were to be associations of people who produce goods together and divided the profit according to the work done by the members. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels added other ideas to this body of arguments. Marx believed that the condition of workers could not improve as long as private capitalists had profit motive. Workers had to overthrow capitalists and the rule of private property. Workers must construct a radically socialist society where all property was socially controlled. Capitalism and the role of private property were overthrown. Last, Marx believed that this would be a communist society, the natural society of the future. Dear students, we are going to discuss about support for socialism. By the 1870s, socialist ideas spread through Europe and they formed an international body, namely the Second International. Associations were formed by workers in Germany and England to fight for better living and working conditions. In Germany, these associations work closely with the Social Democratic Party and helped in win parliamentary seats. The Labour Party and Socialist Party were formed by socialists and trade unionists by 1905. However, till 1914, socialists never succeeded in forming a government in Europe. My dear students, before going to end of the class, we have to remember some of the important points of discussions. Number one, socialism was a well-known body of ideas by the mid-19th century in Europe that attract widespread attention. Socialists were against private property. Robert Owen, a leading English manufacturer, sought to build a cooperative community called New Harmony in Indiana. In France, Louis Blanc wanted the government to encourage cooperatives and replace capitalist enterprises. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels added other ideas to this body of arguments. By the 1870s, socialist ideas spread through Europe and they formed an international body, namely the Second International. However, till 1914, socialists never succeeded in forming a government in Europe. Thank you. Have a nice day.